So we didn't have a lot of time to practice, as in none, so you just have to go with the flow with us. And I'm going to do my little, last year I did a rap. This year I made up a poem. So if you'll just bear with me a minute, I think you'll enjoy it. Because I do, so you should too. They just asked me. I'll have to put my glasses. I have to put my glasses on. Don't you think we all should have microphones when we're out talking so people can actually hear our whole sentences? Yeah, because I trail off, I've been told. My husband will say, if you're talking to me, I don't know what you're saying. Does that sound familiar? Yes. Except when I was in the restaurant, I asked my husband, or my son, do you think blah, blah, blah? He says, sure, you say something embarrassing loud enough that the whole restaurant can hear you, but we can't hear you when you're regular talking. I don't know what that's about. But F8. Don't listen to me, I'll put my password in. TOR. Okay. This is my little ditty. I was going to make a limerick, but I didn't know how to make a girl from Nantucket anything clean, so I just let that go. All right, let me see. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let me get in the groove. There once was a woman who noticed one day she couldn't do the hula. She couldn't do it all the way. As she was doing the motions in the air, her left arm wouldn't go, just hung there. That's the woman's knee, just in case you didn't know. Figuring it was just because she didn't use that arm, she just put it down to being weak and wasn't really alarmed. But as time progressed and started noticing more, the arm didn't work well, but wait, there's more. The fingers started twitching and shaking quite a lot. People started noticing and asking what she got. Her mom and her hubby told her she should show the doctor next time, the next time that she goes. She showed him her impairment and of her hulaing distress, and he stood back and watched, and he said, you need to see a neurologist. The first talk was quite different, for lack of a nicer term. He was young and naive and seemed to have a lot to learn. After a few months of seeing him with no major changes, he suggested getting a second opinion, but said the diagnosis will be the same. She was glad that he offered, and she jumped on that, either Philly or Hershey, so Hershey's where she's at. She saw Dr. Sue, who seemed nice enough, until he had her hopping and quacking and doing a lot of silly stuff. About after 15 minutes of doing these gyrations, he had her sit on the table to tell her his observations. He said, you have youth onset Parkinson's, he said quite flatly, like it was no big deal, like she should be happy. Well, it took a few seconds for the diagnosis to sink in. Then she started to cry like her life was about to end. Dr. Sue got up and gave her a big hug and said, now, dear, and he gave her a coffee mug. Wait, that didn't happen. What was I drinking? He actually almost scolded her for the way she was thinking. He pointed out that the treatments have come a long way, that she could climb Mount Everest if she wanted to someday, that life would really change from what she was already living. She should just have to take more meds if she had to be willing to keep on a schedule of taking her meds. This would be sure to keep the dopamine in her head. That didn't become a struggle day after day. That is until she invented a much better way. She worked with some folks at her inventors group, told them of her idea, and was pleased to find out within a week the designer did design, took her idea, and it started to shine. From her head to a product, it was quite exciting, and we're asking your help, and we are inviting. For you to check out Meds Gone Mobile, critique it and touch it and let us know. Any tweaks or ideas that you may think will help so that we can get this item on the store shelf. And we're back there, so at break and afterward, please come see us because we have something to have you fill out. Okay, that was my little joke, my little thing.
In effort, how many people real quickly use an app to keep your alarm for your meds, or have some way of keeping your meds on time? How do you get them? Well, I use an alarm on my phone, and I find that the alarm on my phone is good, but I have to have my medicine with me in order to take it. So I have used in the past, I came up with an alarm that almost makes, I've gone already and said, oh, I can wait to take my meds. Because hearing my alarm go just doesn't have the same effect. So I thought of something and I got Dr. Sue's help. And we put together my alarm now because after, quite frankly, no offense, Dr. Sue, but if you hear this quite often enough, it makes you want to carry your medicine with you. Because that's one of the things that he has gone over and over as my fault, is being on time and remembering to get those meds, how important it is. And so I'm going to just share with you what my alarm is real quickly. And forgive me for the technical difficulties, because as Summer said, we didn't have much time last night as the emergency room trips we've had. But it is on here, I promise. Okay.
Hold the microphone to it.
While she's doing that, don't forget also to see Dan's booth from Azalec. Anybody here who does not have an exercise CD, this is exercise definitely for people with PD and motion movement diseases, and they'll be slow and easy to use. So get these CDs, plus he's got a wealth of other freebie stuff that you need to take home and wrap it up for Christmas presents for your relatives. So you do all your Christmas and birthday shopping right back there at Dan's table. Right, Dan?
That's right.
Okay.
The day before, there's more stuff now.
Oh.
Sorry to hold you. So when I'm, like I said, my alarm goes off and I hear this little I'll get it there. So I added Dr. Sue's recording for myself.
Reminder, I told you, you always have to take your medicines on time.
So I'll play it again here, see if I can get it.
Reminder, I told you, you always have to take your medicines on time.
Can you hear that? Yeah. It's like, brings back like chalk on a, or fingers on a chalkboard, because it's Dr. Sue telling us. So he treats us all the same. That's always good to know. He's an equal opportunity scolder, so.
So if anyone wants to share that, we'll gladly do that, because that has been my reason to keep my medicine with, and as Summer had alluded to, she's